off-camera shenanigans.
As I smash my headphones into the fucking microphone.
Hey, if anybody's listening to the early stream, this is the early stream, by the way. Tell us what you think about the thumbnails. I want to hear some feedback about these thumbnails because I feel like Mike does such a fantastic job with these motherfuckers. Ooh. I mean, I just spit some ideas out, and then he's like gives me draft 1, draft 2. By draft 2, draft 3, it's exactly what we wanted.
I'm excited because Rumble actually did the thing for me that I normally have to do. It's already done, which is weird.
Nice.
They must have upgraded something. But now I'm going to go share it on Facebook while I play
Ooh, I hate the intro. And this is the news, right? Is it playing on your end?
You don't hear it?
Nope. I see a loading screen that's spinning.
Really?
And I hear nothing. Yep.
It's playing on Rumble. Very weird. All right, let me see if I can get rid of this. Try this again. Let me know if you hear it.
Nope. Not at all. Now I hear it.
What a false start.
Wait, what happened? And now for the outro breakdown. Did you stop it on purpose?
You don't hear it? It's still going.
It just says 47 seconds on my screen. Frozen. Now it's 41. Yeah, it's like lagging when it's coming into me. Alright.
Is your internet longer?
Not at all. No. So you're coming in pretty quick.
God damn it.
Anyway, I'm just going to guess that the song is over. And welcome back to Dumbfounded Dipshits Podcast. Was that correct?
Yes. How do I remove this? Remove. Bye-bye. Welcome to the Dumbfounded Dipshits Podcast. I am Mike. That is Ryan. We are dipshits of this evening. We are dipshits of every evening.
Go Cats, go Mets! Right now, the fucking Florida Panthers are leading 3-0 against the fucking Toronto Maple Leafs. Fuck Canada.
Hey.
We were chanting tariffs.
Poutine is delicious. Poutine. Really? That's incredible.
There were a lot of USA chants. I'm not going to lie at the playoff game the other day, but yeah. So fucking a lot of shit in the news today. I don't know how early you want to get to the shit that happened yesterday.
My shit is. Let me get some weed into my system.
Oh yeah, go for it, buddy.
I'm trying to check our audio levels on a separate channel. Like my mic doesn't seem to really pick up my mouth unless I'm like here.
Yeah, you got super radio mic.
It's weird.
You are a radio mic. Radio mic.
It used to be way more, I don't know, compatible when I did it live. When we did the live shit. Remember when we did a live a long time ago in the studio? We were using these mics, and we used 3 of these mics or 4 of these mics. It worked better. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, so.
But we're all in the same room with each other.
Yes. So it's
on the table. Yeah.
So we want to go right into the boat that crashed into the Brooklyn fucking bridge.
What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? Why do we get a sick boat crash into bridge every year now? Is this like every year?
But like, what made me question? Not question anything. Hold on. Let's bring up.
There's a lot to question, dude. Because a lot you could put blame on a lot of fucking shit. I think the tugboat guy was at fault.
That's the thing. It was being towed. That's another thing.
Yeah,
it was being towed. Mm-hmm. Let's share this screen. Yeah, I'm very disappointed that all these people that talk shit don't come watch our streams. Like, you want to talk shit, come watch us.
Yeah, please comment shit.
And like
comment shit. Comment the shit.
Yeah,
show us. Make us look like fucking idiots. Please.
They can't. You saw that whole thing. It's like, oh, you're ugly, so ugly. I'm like, guy, you look like me. You look like a Mexican version of me.
Dude, listen, people. I don't take care of myself. Of course, I look like shit.
I do take care of myself, and I still look like. No, I'm kidding.
The world isn't fair, right? Well, it's not fair. That's fair.
The guy was talking shit, and I'm like, I can't find any of his pictures. So then I found his pictures. And I'm like, bro, he looks like a Mexican version of me. The same facial hair, same receding hairline, same short haircut. I'm like, bro, for real? Anyway,
do you know what I get in my algorithm a lot? I get a lot of OnlyFans like models and stuff like that who are obviously like, you know, they're pretty much tailored to look like fucking Barbie dolls, and they get crazy comments and they go like this. These are the internet trolls that comment on my physical appearance. Now, for all intents and purposes, these women would be considered hot, you know, and the comments are all like really nasty comments on you know, tattoos suck, you look ugly, this, that, the other thing, your boob job is bad, and it's all like unimpressive people, just to say the least. You
know? So the video starts as it's hitting the bridge. What you don't realize, what you're going to see is like over here, these are all people standing on the
they're like soleil performers, right, or something like that, right? They're like circus performers,
and you're gonna see them falling, and some of them fell to their fucking death.
I heard 2.
Well, here we go. There goes somebody. Jesus Christ!
There's people up there.
There's another person. Look at that guy.
What just happened?
People hanging.
It's crashing.
All right. The guy talking is a fucking idiot. There's people up there. Thanks. It's crashing. It's already crashed.
That is very Captain Hindsight. But you got to understand. Did you see how young? It's just a young idiot. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not.
You can blame the ignorance on. I mean, listen, dude. Young people, you're really not fucking. You're not helping yourselves. I mean, you know, like back in the day, like, okay, could you do me a favor? Just remember. Do you remember American Pie? And do you remember how witty so many of the and they were all 19-year-olds.
Weren't they like 30 playing 19?
I'm saying I just feel like our generation was well represented amongst just common street intelligence. But there's something lost with these fucking cell phone kids, man. Just
Not
saying.
even that. Like, I want to know, how did they not know? Not the people recording, the people getting towed, the tugboat towing the boat, and the people on the boat not know it's going to hit the bridge.
Now the height, right? Isn't that something that's like discussed before it's gone, like pulled into the water to see how high this is? I know they do this. They do this for cruise ships. There's a height, like sort of restriction for certain bridges, and cruise ships can't move in that direction. Certain barges can't move in that direction. It's like I'm pretty sure like the Verrazano Bridge you could clear, but you can't clear the Manhattan Bridge or the Brooklyn Bridge with a lot of these ships that come into New York Harbor. So they got to go up the Hudson. Let's just say.
I'm going to play the
game. Yeah, this is fucking nuts.
Look at the guy hanging.
That had to be on purpose. Yo, did you
that had to be on
purpose? Person just fall all the way down.
Yeah, people died. Like, people that fell, I think, died. That's crazy.
Whoa.
There's another angle I can show. Let's see.
Damn. And it smashed into that that movable scaffolding that's underneath the bridge too. That's fucking crazy.
How do I go? No, I don't want to do that.
This
I'm
is
gonna
wild.
Go full screen. Full screen. Stop. All right.
I might have sent you a different angle. There's so many different angles.
I have it.
Their cell phone cams. Everybody had their cell phone cameras out for this shit.
Here you go.
Damn, this is bad PR for fucking Mexico.
This shit's about to crash. Oh shit!
No, it's not only that was it hit the dock too. Not the dock, whatever that here. Jesus Christ! Yo!
You know what I'm really curious? I want to. Multiple people got in trouble. Multiple people got in trouble. I want to know who's in trouble for this shit. Like, who's really at fault for this catastrophe? This is a catastrophe. Like, just like, you remember when that shit fucking crashed into that fucking bridge last year and it collapsed? Like,
remember when the ferry crashed onto the dock, the Staten Island ferry?
That guy lost his leg.
And he's drunk, right?
Yeah.
The pilot was the pilot. The captain was drunk.
The boat captain, yeah.
I mean,
God damn, bro.
Yeah, that's not something you should play with. Not that they're playing, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
You need to know how big your fucking boat is.
Do we have any news on like what fucking unfolded from this? Like the thing said 2 people died. I know like dozens of people got hurt. And
I don't know. I don't know.
We'll
find out. It just happened. Didn't it just happen like Friday?
Yesterday.
Oh, it was yesterday.
I thought it was yesterday.
Oh, it was yesterday.
Saturday, yeah.
This is fresh news. Yay, for once we're breaking a story. We're not breaking it. It was yesterday, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, we're within the 24-hour mark because I think we miss a lot of things by like 48 hours because we do it on Sunday. So it's at the end of the week recap is really what it is. You know what I mean? What we try to do is try to catch things in the fucking net. That's why the thumbnail has the name that it has, because of the testimony in court that was read.
Yeah, so we'll get to that. I don't know if you sent me anything about... Oh, there's the video you sent me. Should I scroll all the way back up and start from the top where we left off last week?
We can do that. Yeah, let's. Hey, everybody, dipshits out there, we're about to marathon through some fucking reaction videos. So get ready, because hopefully some of this would be worthy to clip.
Oh, it's all worthy to clip. Always. Let's see what this is.
I didn't believe it because have you seen how certain streaming shows will edit certain parts out?
They did that for The Passion on Netflix.
Yeah.
What did they take out?
They took out the verse from Isaiah at the beginning.
And I saw that. And I saw this one. I said, there's no way. Because in Robin Hood, the one with Russell Crowe, very first thing, there's a scroll that pops up and in old lettering, it says, in times of tyranny and injustice, when law oppresses the people, the outlaw takes his place in history.
And he took it out of Netflix.
only in the U.S. Canada, Ireland, people are from Britain. They're like, it's on ours.
We're getting so played, you
in
guys.
America. And I just played it, and it doesn't.
We're getting so played.
It literally is just a blank screen for 10.
I mean, I have the Passion of the Christ on DVD.
Well, they're not talking about Passion of the Christ. They're talking about Robin Hood.
Robin Hood, yeah, but they said Passion of the Christ. They took that whole Isaiah part out.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying so the United States is supposed to be like the ones that don't do that kind of shit.
Yeah,
but,
no state like
I didn't. Any movie that involves the U.S. military, CIA, FBI, it has to be cleared through the government before it gets made. And they will make you change things if they don't like the light that you're pointing on. Now.
They also released their own propaganda too that they allow to be out there.
So, do you want to know what was a very okay? There's a movie that's about how they got Osama bin Laden. It's all about the stuff that led to it and how they figured out everything. And I work in the film industry, and I won't say I'm an expert because there's so many different jobs in this industry and so many different levels to this shit. But I also can recognize not bullshit. I don't know what the right term is, but so I watched the movie Zero Dark 30.
Yes.
From the very beginning to end, I go, this is a CIA op right here. This is or a government op. It's basically
it's propaganda.
And yes, and basically in 2000,
there's some people who corroborate that though. I think there's some people.
Or 2005.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, and I'm lying. A friend of mine, because it's not a friend of mine. I just want to expose whose friend it is and where it came from. Told me that he was a pilot in the Air Force. Was it the Air Force or the Army? Anyway.
Pilot in the military nonetheless.
While they were fighting in the war in Iraq, they firebombed an entire area in Afghanistan that was known to have Osama bin Laden.
Or thought to have.
It was known he was in that area. They confirmed he was there, allegedly. And they just blew up the fucking whole area, firebombed everything, killed everybody. So they couldn't declare him dead because they destroyed everything.
No confirmation, yeah.
Until it was convenient for them to release it. And made up a whole complete different story. And I was told this in like 2005 or 6, a year or two after it happened. So hold on.
So the person says they had to wait 7 years to say something?
They waited until it was convenient for them. Say, oh, Obama got elected to was it a second term? Or was it
when did it happen? That was end of the first because it was 2011. It was May 2011.
They get him reelected and it looks good or whatever reason there was. They didn't release it until it was convenient for them. And then the movie comes out a couple of years later, not that long after. So I had this information in 2005 or 6, and
you just think that that's what happened?
I mean, the person was in the military. There was no denying he was a pilot in the military. He was a trustworthy source. He left his current job in the United States to go join and fight in Afghanistan. I think he was a reservist and then signed up for the full thing.
You don't think that there's a possibility that somebody else who told him that might have been full of shit? Maybe.
He was saying it as if he had firsthand experience.
Like in it, being involved in an operation.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Not that he pulled the trigger or dropped the bomb, so to speak.
Yeah, but he was in the know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this makes sense too to cut things. The reason why they would cut that out is because they don't want. America is very. I want to say sensitive right now, but that's not the right word. Divided.
Yeah, but why didn't they cut it out in the original version? And knowing that there's so many copies of this original version that are out there.
Well, the Netflix cut it out. Who knows why Netflix cut it out?
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like the boomer saying Netflix cut it out, but that's not what I meant.
It sounded very boomerish.
Right. I'm also caffeinated to all high hell and high.
But what's like the real motivation for Netflix to cut anything like that out?
Well, didn't they cut out?
It's blank. It's just blank. Like the saying isn't there. The phrase isn't there. It's just blank.
Have you watched the movies on the plane?
A
lot of things are cut out.
I raw dog it. I don't raw dog it. I do play some of those fucking like Battleship and those games, like when I fly JetBlue.
Well, I don't play
But
games.
I don't really watch anything.
I was watching. What the hell was I watching? I was watching something that I couldn't believe it was on a plane. Like, so I'm like, if my neighbor looks at the screen, he might get offended. I forgot what it was, like a horror. It was like, it wasn't a human centipede, but it might as well have been. But then as I'm watching it, I realized, wait a second, I've seen this movie. Where's this scene? Where's this scene? And where's this scene?
They edited it for the airplane.
I Google runtime of the movie, and the runtime is like 2 hours and 10 minutes or whatever it is. And I look at the version I'm watching, the runtime is like an hour and 40 or 50 minutes. And I'm like, they cut out 20 minutes in the movie because they cut out scenes they don't want you to see on a plane.
Oh, so like, all right, for example, like you can't watch Air Force One on an airplane. You probably can't watch Airplane on an airplane. You probably can't watch Snakes on an airplane. Snakes on a plane on an airplane.
It would be the happiest day of my life if I'm flying to Florida or somewhere and I get to watch snakes on a plane while on a plane.
Come fly to Florida, Mike. Come to Florida. Where is it?
I was looking
Florida.
at, just for shits and giggles, I was looking at houses in Fort Lauderdale. And
well,
I'm like,
what's happening now because the whole COVID boom is dying down. Housing prices are coming down a little bit too.
I saw the median was 800 or 900. Or
that's in Fort Lauderdale.
And then I didn't see any of that unless I wanted a fucking 5-bedroom, 4-bath. But I could get a nice 3-bedroom, 2-bath in like Fort Lauderdale, not too far from the Everglades for like $300-400.
You can. That is totally possible. Yeah.
I also saw a couple of townhouses that were a little less, but with more space inside, not outside.
Yeah, and you get. I think most of those come with a garage, and you know, and there's like a community pool and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you get a little backyard. Some of them get a little backyard, patio, shit like that.
Oh
you know
wow!
what I mean?
Bensonhurst, that store in the back shoulder there is still there.
Yeah,
not the bakery. The bakery's gone, I think. But this thing right here.
Del Sol. Yeah. So this is the neighborhood I grew up in.
Yeah.
So this is why I sound this way.
Do they always say you don't sound like you're from Florida?
No, everybody, dude. Everybody. They're like, like if I say like, well, I'm not originally from here, usually I get, I figured that because you're
no shit. I said to my wife, if we ever move to Florida, every once in a while I have to watch like Goodfellas or fucking some just to not lose my accent.
Luckily, it's played on a loop on AMC, like I think on a weekly basis. They do marathon at that casino, you know what I mean? So you do get enough.
Casino is going to do, yeah. But
you probably think it wouldn't be a very nice place to live. Well, we found some folks who live in Bensonhurst who say baloney to that idea. Bensonhurst is beautiful. I think it's the safest place you can be in Brooklyn. Beautiful and safe.
That house
That's
is still
what
there.
Comes to mind when you look at some of the homes on 12th Avenue.
What happened?
That's in Diker Heights, though.
Bensonhurst's 174,000 residents don't live like this. 3/4 of them live in 1 or 2 family homes like these. A middle-class existence. 65% Italian-American, 30% Jewish. The median yearly income, about $18,000. Working people.
That's back then.
$18,000.
This is in 1987, though. 1987, 18 grand was like making 45 or 50,000. Yeah.
You find them working and shopping on Bensonhurst's main streets.
That's Bay Parkway,
18th Avenue, and 86th Street. Pete Menino says it's all those.
Okay.
I lived 18th and 86th. That's where I lived. That's where I grew up.
If we were able to color correct this, it would still look like this today. It looks like how it looks today.
Yeah, except
cars.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars on fucking 86th Street now, loaded with cars.
Mm-hmm.
You used to be able to find a spot on 86th Street during the weekday. Now you can't find it's double parked the whole way up and buses that run like 1 mile an hour.
When I was in pest control and I worked in the area, I would have to park 3 blocks, 4 blocks down to walk to 86 to do shit.
Oh, yes. It was fucking horrible. It was one of the worst places to park. Bay Ridge is the worst. Bay Ridge, Park Slope.
People who make up for the few bad ones.
Nice people, good, hard-working people, good ethnic groups, nice restaurants.
There's all this hood stuff is exactly.
I wonder if you would say that right now.
It's all Asian now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was
anything wrong with that, but like
it was sort of going Russian speaking for a little bit, and now it's all mixed Asian.
and there was still Indian too, Indian and Pakistanis in that area as well, but
Oh,
not a lot.
yeah,
but yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, and you
my
have
first time ever
other
having
mixed
Chinese
ethnic-
hot pot was on 86th Street. I mean,
The first time I had sushi was on 86th Street.
there you go. I mean, well, that's the thing. People don't realize. Well, some people might realize, but like when we grew up in Brooklyn, okay, everyone was racist, but you didn't see color. If that makes any sense, you know what I mean? Like
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
like the Asian guy's yelling at you, you're making a white joke at you, and you're making a white joke at the Asian guy, and it wasn't because you hated each other, it's because you were friends. You know, like it wasn't.
Usually the Asian guy was more racist than the white guy. Actually, that's what happened most often.
Well,
Where you see, you know, like something would come out like as joke wise, and then they'd be like, you know what I think about this one, that one, and this one, and that one, and be like, whoa!
I had a Pakistani cab
God
driver.
damn.
Sounds so cliche, but I had a Pakistani cab driver once tell me, and he wasn't Muslim. I don't know what he was, but he said
That's strange.
he
I
was
thought
like-
all Pakistanis were Muslim.
I don't think they all are.
Maybe he was Indian. I think all Pakistanis are Muslim.
No
I think so.
way. Now I got
Yeah, like
something.
all. Yeah, I think so. Like all Saudis are Muslim. All Pakis are Muslim. All Pakistanis are Muslim.
Hold on.
If he's the 1%, if you met the 1% Pakistani, because I'm pretty sure Pakistan is
96.5% of Pakistanis identify as Muslim. Holy shit!
that's the whole country, dude.
Holy
Yeah, that other 4% might be just agnostic
he
and
was
or
an Indian cab
atheist.
driver, but he was saying
Indian, yeah.
how he hates all he hates all the Muslims, and he hates all the Jews, and he hopes they all kill each other. And
He's
I'm like,
probably Indian. He's
I'm like,
probably Indian.
yeah, but aren't they Hindu then? And they're like peace and everything. That's the opposite.
Nah. Religion and culture are two totally different things.
And ironically, back to the joke we had the other day about he was saying this while they were jaywalking in front of his car. So it wasn't like,
Flare up in traffic.
yeah, it wasn't a random thing. Guess what? I hate these people. It was look at these motherfucking animals crossing the street. They want to all die. I wish they would all kill each other.
Yeah, it's sort of like it's the Theo Vaughn racism.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's
It's
not
just
he's not the original
traffic flare.
not the original fucking go to that joke. People have been saying that for
No, I know.
Jump right into this one.
Ocean Parkway, we're getting closer.
Wait, that's the Parkway? No, he's turning onto it. It's still breaking the fucking music.
Mad nostalgia. I mean, honestly, the music goes well with it. Because this is what you would hear being blasted out of somebody's car. KTU. I could smell this video.
Now, that's so true. And now there's speed cameras everywhere, so you can't go over 25.
I remember driving up Ocean Parkway with my family, and in 1986 going to like Prospect Park, because you'd have to go up Ocean Avenue for a little while before you'd end up going back up
This
the
way.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't have the next one ready.
Nah, I don't give a fuck. I like awkward silences. That's what I'm here for. That's what this podcast is about. Just being silent and awkward the whole time.
Is it here?
And not trying to be annoying and not trying to look dead in eye in the camera.
So
And look at all of you in the eye right now. All
did
of you.
Putin not show up to the meeting?
Nope.
Is that where
Did
this
not
is
show
from?
up. He said I will not be seeing Zelensky. I think Zelensky still went to a meeting with Russian dignitaries that were negotiating. Oh, but did you hear about this?
What is this? Yeah, what that is? Oh, come on. Oh, he moved it. Ooh.
They have a very, 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 very pressing situation to get to, and they need all the energy that they could get.
Wow.
I
no,
wonder.
I didn't even see he was here. God damn it! Sorry, Indiana Tones. It's been a while, bro.
What up? Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo.
He's from.
What's
he's
up?
He's from the mean streets of Staten Island.
Staten Island.
Staten Island.
Nice.
I don't know. I say it differently. Anyway.
I got married on Staten Island. Staten Island. S.I. Shaolin. What up, Shaolin? Shaolin shadow boxing. That's definitely cocaine. Macron is fucking doing blow and then going to home to his elderly
I'm okay with that.
transitioned wife.
Like, everyone's like, wow. I defended AOC the other day.
Okay, over what?
So someone goes, this is what happens when you elect a bartender into office. And I go, that's the only thing I like about her. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, she's an actual person from the people, not an elite rich person who comes from an elite family who was basically built to be a fucking talking head.
Pretty much.
She's the people we want in office, just not her specifically, but like, that's what we want.
You know what's a good argument to that is, and I'll tell you what a good argument to that is that do you know that the Revolutionary War was formulated inside public houses?
Yes.
And that's where they had all these meetings to say, like, this is how we're going to take care of the redcoats.
Yeah.
And they were in a pub when they actually came up with the fucking plan to throw tea into fucking Boston Harbor. That's what they did. Like, they literally were just drinking fucking warm ass fucking beer in a public house after hours, after they did their daily business, and they would just get drunk and think about how fucking cool it would be not to be under the rule of a monarchy. And they fucking just fought back because they were just drunk, and somebody was serving those drinks, and somebody who was serving those drinks probably had some
cocaine.
duly noted cocaine and political points. That probably sparked some of these debates. I know that Ben Franklin was going to like Hellfire Club fucking orgies.
Yeah,
I know. Wow. I learned that this week.
So, and the thing also that another argument that people always say it pisses me off is like, well, they talk about specifically with Kyle Rittenhouse is what was he doing there? He was so young and shouldn't have had a gun. I'm like, the reason why you don't speak, I was gonna say speak British, speak with an English accent right now is because of 18-year-olds. The reason why you don't speak German is because
they may have been younger.
25-year-olds.
Yeah, they could have even been younger too.
Stop coddling the youth. They've been in this shit for a while.
Or I think they should start stepping up. How about that? I think it has nothing to do with coddling it because, the youth will continue to be coddled if they don't try to fucking fly. Like you don't have it was common for generations and generations for people to fly the coop, and people stop flying the coop, and then when they stop flying the coop,
wait,
what happens?
Is this the current Pope? Is this a video of the current Pope?
I thought that maybe because I know he's from Chicago, right? It might be.
I don't.
I think it might be. This might be the Pope from back in the day.
Is the Pope? How's my audio? Is it good? Because I'm okay.
Yeah, I think you sound fine to me. Anybody got a hot comment on how he sounds?
I don't want to be louder than you, and I don't want you to be louder than me.
I feel like I hear myself just as well as I hear you, so I think we're good. On my end, we're good. What do you guys think? Would you like me louder? Could be louder.
2 people watching them, and they're both from my fake account. So no, I'm kidding.
Oh, womp womp. So
let's see who this is.
This might be the Pope. This very well might be the Pope.
There's a lot of guys that can skateboard real good, but they're not doing it for the Lord. Doesn't matter how good you are, what your attitude is. That's what God really cares about. You skateboard for Him and not to show off in front of your friends.
So I skateboard for the Lord?
Okay, so it's the guy talking, not the kid.
Is it not the kid? The guy talking is the Pope. He's now Pope.
So
he knows how to skateboard.
I'm okay with this. Listen.
It's not so. I mean, it's pretty cool. I think. Listen. If this is like our first, he's an American Pope and he's a former skateboarder. I think skateboarders, at least like who maybe were raised Catholic, might be pumped. I'd be pumped.
I'd be pumped
if I was skateboarding for Jesus already, and the Pope just happens to be a skateboarder.
I was raised Catholic. Is it even a technical thing? Is that a technical?
No, yeah. You say you were raised Catholic, like because your family was Catholic. celebrated Catholic holidays? Did they take you to church? Did they read the Bible to you?
Hold on. My father and my mother have never taken me to church once and have never read the Bible to me once. I went to the church with my great-grandmother when she was alive when I was like 4, 5, 6. I was baptized. I didn't do communion or confirmation.
So all right. So right now you were at a 0 level with the first few things you said. And then you said you did a few things. So you're like at a level 3 out of 10, and you just didn't really go on your own. Because they gave you communion and confirmation. So you're like already you were baptized. So you got those 3. Right, you did those 3 things.
Like, in other words, if the world's ending and it happens to be that the Christians were right, I can atone for my sins because I have some of the steps done.
Well, if it's what they say,
that's what I'm saying. That's
what I mean.
If they were right and it's what they say,
if it's what they say, then yeah, I think so. But personally, like you're not gonna know until that happens, and it's like, isn't it like I don't know. Everybody else has to do a little bit of work, right? Wouldn't it suck if like somebody just worked so hard to be a Christian and then you did nothing and you get in the same as them? I think you'd be bringing in resentments into heaven, and I don't think that's what that's about.
If you're both getting into heaven, I don't think there's any resentment anymore because you're both dead and going to heaven. You know what movie I recently watched? Constantine, the original with Keanu Reeves. And
I like that movie.
Scene where he starts reading the last rites to the singer from Bush.
Yes,
Gabriel.
Okay, yes.
To send him to heaven instead of hell.
Yes.
And then he and when he finishes, he's like, the guy gives up the information because he didn't want to go to heaven. He goes, "You dumbass! You have to actually want to be forgiven to be forgiven." And he walks away. That's the thing. If you're doing it just because, like at the end of times, allegedly, if you're doing it just because you have no choice now because you're about to die, you're not going to get it. But if you are honestly atoning for your sins, allegedly, I'm not even religious. I know this. And I think something along the lines of there is probably a God. There probably is a higher power. But as many people are starting to say now, it might just be the universe.
And maybe the universe has been God all along. And just to be, just to be on the universe hype train, the universe is God hype train, because you know what? I'm starting to believe that there is like a universal God, and because the Panthers are winning right now 5-1 against the Maple Leafs, and that means they go on to the Eastern Conference Finals if they win. And they're just absolutely destroying the Florida Panthers. Go fucking Cats. I'm missing the third period. They were already leading. They were slaughtering right before the podcast, but I just had to do a real quick check on the score. The Mets are losing, but the fucking Panthers are winning. So this is my sacrifice for today. So go Cats.
Go Cats.
And you know what? Like, honestly, like maybe a God exists because, or maybe a God doesn't exist because things like this happen. You could roll this one, Mike.
She got up? Oh my, how the fuck she get up? How the fuck she get up?
Yeah, how
did she get up?
Mike, tell me how she's not crushed.
And then now they're fist fighting. They're fucking fist fighting out there.
Well, I'm gonna say there's glass and that wall has a lot of give. It looks like it just pushed the framing in too. There's block there though. What the fuck? And it's a hit. That's a hit too. Hit and crush.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just gonna say she's gonna fucking feel that shit tomorrow, bro. That's not gonna be cool tomorrow.
Jesus Christ.
She's gonna feel that shit tomorrow, dude. She's gonna fucking feel that. She got up and ran away, but
if I lived in Florida, I would conceal and carry all the fucking time. Just saying.
Now, this is the thing. You know what's weird? Is that if somebody's coming at you with a car, I know police officers often fire at cars that are coming at them because it's a weapon, right? But as a civilian, could you just, if somebody's coming at you, in a court of law, that could be disputed on whether or not they were just driving forward and not really trying to run you over and you jumped in front of them and shot them. Like, because that's really sketchy. It's sort of sketchy because somebody could argue and be like, well, you jumped in front of the car and just started firing shots. The person wasn't using it to run you over. You know what I mean? But in fact, maybe they were using it to run you over.
To ask the question. I made it state specific because if you do that in New York, obviously you're wrong because you can't shoot a fucking pistol in New York. Basically, and save your own life.
Right.
So in Florida, you can use deadly force, including shooting at a car, if you reasonably believe it is necessary to prevent immediate death or great bodily harm to yourself or others. So if this was Florida and you happen to be witnessing this and you saw the person driving to the woman and you went pop, 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 you are in your legal right.
In your legal right. Because they're using it as a weapon. Because they're using a weapon against you.
Now, some people might argue that, is that person's life really worth it? Why not just move out of the way? How about no? How about yes? Yes, that person's life is now irrelevant to me because they're trying to harm me. But I don't know. The person in the car might be defending themselves. Actually, there's no defending that at all. There's none.
At all. That is crazy.
There's no.
That is crazy. That's assault. That's assault, right? With a deadly weapon.
It could be
and I think that's a
murder.
Exactly, because they crashed him into a wall and tried to crush them. Like, that should have killed her, dude. Who's to say that she didn't? Who's to say that because of the adrenaline she just didn't pop up and does have internal bleeding and shit like that? You don't know.
No, well, that the adrenaline's rushing, you can have a broken fucking something, femur. Well, no, if you had a broken femur, you're not going to move. Never mind.
People just get up and shake that off and walk it off, and then die a day later.
Well, maybe she was a crackhead. Because crackheads just walk that shit off. Remember we watched the video of all the crackheads walking things off? It's a joke. I'm not.
PCP, and methamphetamine too.
True.
You don't have to fucking tell them it's a joke, Mike. No apologies. Fuck that shit. Crackheads. They get up and walk away sometimes.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to start self-censoring because of fucking. I almost said.
I'm not self-censoring. The Florida Panthers are going to the Eastern Conference Finals again. 3 years in a fucking row, motherfucker.
Oh! You want to hear something funny? Here's
yes.
It's a funny story. You might get a kick out of this. So I'm in a shit posting group, and in the shit posting group, someone posts. Hold on, we have a comment. In the shit posting group,
what up, Harrison?
They posted a video of like a white guy with a girl, and they get married, and they're all happy, and then she starts banging black guys. Basically, is the gist of the comic. It's a joke.
Okay.
But,
Okay. Gotcha.
So I make the joke of, was this before or after he stabbed her 3 times and stole her television? Okay. So then someone got offended, and he's like,
shit.
And he says something, and I'm like, yeah, but it's a stereotype. It doesn't mean it's true, and it's a joke. He goes, yeah, but you only did the black person. I go, okay, fine. You asked for this. Just remember. And I was like, how many Jews fit in a Volkswagen? All of them in the ashtray. And then I was like...
That's an old one. That's an old one. I remember hearing that way back in the day. Yeah, okay.
I was like, how many Polish people does it take to screw in a light bulb? 5. One to hold the light bulb, stand on a ladder. The other to pick up and spin the light bulb.
Yeah, and spin
I just went on and on with like some bad ones, like why did the Pope cross the road? Because underage children were on the other side, unattended underage children were on the other side. Just went on and on. And then
do you remember that book? Do you remember that book that had all of those jokes in it? It was like 1,000 pages.
They had it at Barnes and Noble behind the register. So
the world's worst, dirtiest jokes.
Very disappointed when this person no longer commented anymore and wouldn't challenge me, because I'm like, I only did the joke that I said because the meme that was posted. But if you're gonna sit there and call me a racist because I said a joke that I think is funny, I will give you plenty of jokes. Because he's like, why aren't you making fun of the white people? Because I also said, why are there no Puerto Ricans in Star Trek? They don't work in the future either. Things like that. And he was like, oh, you're not saying anything about the white people. First off, I'm fucking half Puerto Rican. So whatever the percentage of mutt I am. But
don't be so hard on yourself, Mike. This is crazy. Don't talk shit on yourself.
I have to consistently argue with people and go, they're like, well, you're just white or whatever, and you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, kinda. You're very white passing, I guess, right? This also makes me very pale right now. Absolutely.
You walk around with big white boy energy.
Is this a metal band? White boy energy. Here we go.
This is. Damn. That's a 50 cal? Holy shit. Ooh. Oh, they had to edit it. Okay. Because I was like, wow, that drum was empty.
Yeah, you heard that, right?
Yeah. Damn, this just keeps going? That's crazy.
I think I'm going to see Pantera.
Nice.
And I really hope they play that song.
That's cool.
Really fucking
That's cool. I think I'm going to try to go in September too down here in West Palm Beach. And they're really good. I saw them last year down here in Sunrise. Go Cats, where the Panthers play. It's cool. I saw Pantera where the Panthers play. And it was cool. It was like the first night of the tour. And they're really good with this lineup, with this tribute lineup. It's fucking awesome. You're going to have a good time.
You know what's really disappointing? When you send me a reel and it's no longer fucking available.
Yeah, some of them are bad. Some of them aren't wholesome at all. Some of them, I'm like, why was this sent to me, like, through the algorithm? And I send them to you because I feel like they'd be shocking and appalling, and then they get Thanos.
A few things get Thanos from the interwebs.
This shit fucking fucked me up, bro.
Well,
There's
still a civil war going on in that country.
Yeah, and this is the earthquake that happened there.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is fucking crazy. I didn't realize this was, what is it called? Myanmar.
Guys, if you're watching this before you play it, Mike, if you're watching this, keep your eye on this little archway wall in the center, and there's a light pole to the middle of that. Right to the left of it, there's like a little black line. That's a light pole in the distance. Just keep your eye, and when you see, no, the next one over, to the right, that one. Just keep an eye on that and that wall right there. Just keep an eye on that. And then you see the ground shake, just keep an eye on both of those. This is the first time I'm ever seeing anything like this. It's nuts.
Oh, it's insane. We never sat down and watched. We got a dedicated episode to natural disasters because there's crazy ones. There's fucking I've seen a tsunami.
I think I sent you a bunch.
Buildings. Well, we watched a few, but like we never dug deep.
We should have an episode. Yeah, totally.
Mother Nature is fucking wild. All right, let's pay attention to this area right here and that light pole.
Watch it. This is fucking crazy.
Why aren't you playing? Weird. I have to refresh the screen. There's a shake.
Yeah, now watch this.
Gate opens. Oh my God. The earth just shifted.
Like two continents just rubbed against each other and moved like 10 feet. That's a fault line.
Yeah.
That ground right there cracked like this. Like cracked.
Yeah, watch. It's going to play again. Watch how far. I'll pause it.
Bro.
It's here.
Yeah. Watch the whole land shift. The whole land. All the land with it. Shift.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is fucking wild.
That's life living on a fucking fault line. That's dangerous. Like now, like if you see that, right? Do you live anywhere near that? No, like really, honestly.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Do you live anywhere near that fault line? Like if you're within 2 miles of that thing, you're like, hun, don't you think maybe we head out west?
I thought you asked
or
me
east or
something. I live there. I'm like, I don't live in that fucking country. We talking about?
No. If you did, hypothetically speaking, like you'd be like, hey, babe, let's get the fuck out of here and move west or east or wherever, like away from this.
Yeah, follow the line straight up. No, I'm kidding. That doesn't work. Myanmar.
Bro, I don't know about that. Like, there's got to be a gap now, right? Isn't there like a chasm? Like when those fault lines crack like that, isn't there just like a big, huge, empty space or something that you could just like fall into, like in Superman 2, before he fucking flies in reverse?
So I make a rule. I made the rule of no more political shit, and I just fell into a hole of political shit because there's a whole movement of like, I guess I call them black conservatives, but they're not necessarily conservative. They're just, I call them, they're what I consider woke. What I consider woke is people that are very much
I'm
aware
confused.
of the real. What do you mean? Which part?
What is your definition of woke?
Oh, okay.
Then I don't know.
Before it was hijacked by
You said
fucking-
what you.
Before
Okay.
it was hijacked, it was people who understood that yes, the government is the problem, and it's not one side. It's the government is the problem, or that
Mm-hmm.
they want to divide and conquer, or that 9/11 was an
Yeah.
inside job, or like to be woke meant like
Back then, like
now it's
woke meant,
hijacked
like
by
you were into conspiracy theories. Like if you were woke in 2009 and you said the word woke, because first time I heard the word was in 08 or 07, and that referred to people who were into like Anonymous and Wall Street protest, and like the 9/11 was an inside job, and like the CIA is fucking out to
audit the Fed.
Audit the Fed, yeah.
Don't bail out the banks. Let the banks fail.
That was traditional woke, is what you're saying.
I remember, yes, this was 2012, 13, no, maybe sooner, maybe even sooner than that. 2016, 17.
11, 12, 13.
Maybe 15.
16, 17, then
that's a little shady.
Like it got hijacked.
So I was talking
15, it got hijacked.
Maybe 15, maybe 14 to my friend Ricky. He's a truck driver in Texas now. He originally grew up in East New York. And we were talking about something, and then in like comments, and then someone I didn't know said something to me, and I was talking to her, but it started getting, it didn't get heated, but it was just very honest. And then he responds with, to the girl, don't worry, he's woke. And I was like, oh, thank you. And this was so long ago that it meant a completely different thing.
Right.
And
Gotcha.
She tried to call me out for not understanding black culture, and Ricky, who's black, was like, nah, he's cool. Some shit like that. It was a long
now it
time
means
ago.
something different.
Yes.
Now I think it's just like, you know what's gonna happen? Like no one's gonna say like how everybody stopped saying groovy after the 70s. Like, I think people.
Whoa!
Like,
It came back
saying,
after Evil Dead. It came back after Army of Darkness. It became cool to say groovy again. That was
because it only in reference to the movie. You weren't saying it ever to be serious. It was always ironic.
Absolutely,
No, but I mean like when people said it seriously, like when people were saying it seriously is what I mean. So I think like people saying the word woke, like I think it'll become within itself a lampoon of itself. It'll just be a joke within itself, like 10.
It is already
15 years from now
within itself.
It is now, but it'll be even more so. Like when you say something's woke, it's gonna be more of a pejorative than
like
a positive on both sides.
Why is it when black people get money, they move to the white neighborhood? If white people are so racist, why are you moving into their neighborhoods? If white supremacy was real, why do every time you black people get some money, you move to the white neighborhood? Can you answer that question? I like to ask the question.
I don't know if that's necessarily true.
I got a question.
But
I don't know if that's true. And I know a lot of fucking white people who moved into black neighborhoods. It's called gentrification.
Yes.
So, and that happened all over Brooklyn. That was just Brooklyn.
Are they usually buying a house or renting? and they're renting because of greedy landlord.
No, some of them are nepo babies and bought those apartments. There were nepo babies that lived there, and they were like sort of like
the problem with gentrification. Is
college educated hipsters.
That a building was traditionally, typically only had minority residents. All of a sudden, they get a couple of white residents, and all of a sudden now they're charging a lot more in rent, pushing out the other minority residents, and then you have them turning it from an apartment into a condo, and now you're selling expensive condos which once were in affordable housing.
Well, that was the whole trick, right? Like that happened, like especially in Greenpoint. I think, places like Park Slope, Williamsburg, downtown Brooklyn, Dumbo. Well, Dumbo was mostly like loft spaces that got like fucking rented out and maybe even sold to like nepo babies, like and
you were actually 100%
white privilege.
Right before. There is the opposite of that. Why do white people move into black neighborhoods? Because it's fucking affordable, and you can't afford white neighborhoods. Like if you want to buy a house, look, put it this way. Not that Jamaica, Queens is a terrible place to live, but if you want to get an affordable house in Queens and not pay $1 million, you have to go to Jamaica, Queens, and you're paying $800,000 for a house that used to cost $200,000.
Yeah, and you got to put work, and you're gonna have to put work.
And you have
to
put another $100,000 into that fucking thing.
Probably at least $100,000 to put work into it. And hey, listen, I knew somebody from one side of Brooklyn who moved to Canarsie and bought a house in Canarsie. They don't live in Canarsie anymore. I believe they live somewhere else in the United States. But
did they sell
they
the
bought a house
or
in
they rent
Canarsie.
it?
They sold it. I think they sold it. Yeah, I think they sold it. I don't think they ever come back to Brooklyn. So, but yeah, they bought a house in Canarsie when it was just pretty much I guess you could call it a minority neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Before it was, you said, or
when it was?
I mean,
when it was like.
Do you ever see? I don't know if we saw it on this show. On this, I've seen a video like the ones we watched, but of Canarsie, and I was like, "Huh?" It used to be all Italian.
Yeah. Now
didn't it?
this is it. Like it's like Bensonhurst, like how Bensonhurst was all Italian, and now it's all like mixed Asian. And Canarsie was all Italian, and I think even the projects, most of it was like Italian and like poor like mixed like whites and stuff, and then. I guess eventually it turned into like sort of like a mixed minority neighborhood. I know like Latino and African American because I remember going to like a couple of friends' houses and they lived next door to one was like a large Dominican family and they like every time we rolled up they always had like like a party out on the lawn. People were playing like I think they were playing dominoes out. Outside, but there was always music and shit, and it was cool. Like they always said hello and stuff like that. But there was always like, you never had to worry about it being like, oh, I'm gonna go and knock on the door and no one's gonna be outside. Because that's even, what? To be quite honest with you, maybe it's because I grew up like in a very neighborhoody place, so it's like I always, even at nighttime, would walk up to somebody's front door and there'd be people out. So I never really felt.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, creepy. No one's out. Like in my neighborhood now, nobody's ever out at night. And I'm like, this is fucking creepy.
Yeah, that's weird. Because in Brooklyn, everyone was always out, and you would.
Someone was, yeah.
Before you had cell phones, you just walked to your friend's house, and they were outside on the porch playing whatever, Dungeons and Dragons, or fucking not smoking weed or whatever.
GI Joe's smoking weed.
All right, let's see what this video is about. Oh, it started playing. You fuck.
My son told me that somebody called him gay today, and this is his response.
So, yeah, he called me gay, and I said, I'm straighter than the poles your mom dances on.
Bravo, kid, bravo.
I'm straighter than the pole your mom dances on.
Sick burn, kid. Sick burn. Nice. I hope he came up with that on his own, man, because that was pretty slick. I like that. I'm going to use it. Now I'm going to use it.
Straighter.
That goes into the Yo Mama joke bank.
There was a book of Your Mama jokes, too, at Barnes & Noble back in the day.
Only Your Mama jokes.
Yes, only.
That was only about like 100 pages thick, though. But there was the dirty joke book that was like fucking like a high school textbook.
You know how we do it. You know how we do it.
Wow. According to Google. Google's God, though, right?
Yeah, but every single one of those things, you if you read it, right, and I'm sure it goes down even further with the if you don't go to heaven, if you blank, you don't go to heaven. All those things each one is plucked from a different belief. Like so, religion, the tattoos are the Jews. The pork is Islam. Alcohol is Islam or Judaism. The alcohol is Islam solely because it's not in Christianity or Judaism.
Yeah,
but yeah, so they plucked it. That's it. Google's just it, and its AI is just taking all the convenient little how you don't get into heaven. Also, murder you don't get into heaven. I think so.
And they go in and they start looking at the cargo, and it's an entire train, besides the tanks and a couple armored cars that are on there. All the cargo is just like French lingerie and fancy perfumes.
Bro.
Why? He kicked her in the head. Or him. I don't know.
Yo, you know how you said you were talking about concealed carriers before? I'm like, this is why you carry a gun. This is why you carry a gun.
In case they ever get attacked by a person in a wheelchair?
By a knife.
A knife?
By a knife. Yeah, a knife wielding wheelie.
I'm getting in my car and I'm running him over.
Like that girl in front of that fucking convenience, in front of that. Yeah. Push him through a wall, huh? Jesus Christ.
Yo, I'll just throw the fucking knife at the thing.
Yo, why don't just teach this guy to be passive? He doesn't have. No one's gonna fucking try to murder him. Why? Well, unless he's like just like a fucking real annoying character. Like if he's like not a humble like wheelie, I don't know. Like if he's like a nice guy, you don't need a fucking knife, dude. I'm pretty sure you don't need a knife.
I'm not knocking his do your thing, but like, yeah. Okay.
Do you think this individual has a reason to have to protect themselves?
Everyone has a reason to at least know something. Everyone.
I know that. I know the benefit.
He's like, I know that.
But I'm just saying, like, for able-bodied people, like, this person shouldn't be inviting that kind of violence because anybody could fucking take him, even if he has a knife. You know what I mean? I'm gonna spin around him and just. I'm gonna spin around him with the knife downward and just backhand him in the fat of his neck, and just fucking just pull back. Like he's gonna come at me like this, and I'm just gonna go like dodge him like a fucking like a junior high school kid playing fucking running back on their football team, and juke him and fucking backstab him in the fucking fat roll of his fucking neck. Why are you doing this to a person in a wheelchair, dude? What's wrong with you? Because I'm saying, like, if he's a wheelie and he's got like this motivation to be a stabber, then there's got to be something up with him. He has to have either A, been victimized, which is very sad, and I hope that's not true, or he's fucking run his mouth so much that somebody had to attempt to stab him.
He's not gonna fight like Rambo ever. Let's just say that.
I don't know. Just the way that he's going at this fucking training partner looks like he's just like a fucking. Maybe he's just like a mouthy stabber, and he's just like trying to commit a fucking crime. And this fucking self-defense course is just using him as like, oh look, we do special people too. They're gonna give Downs kids fucking knives now.
Wow.
And do you want that in the streets? Do you want that in the streets, Mike? I don't think so.
We saw a video of a Downs person running with a machine gun.
That was in the Middle East, though. That different world, Mike.
Was it though?
I think so, because they had the Durka music over it.
We got flagged for that Durka music too.
Yeah, because it's copywritten, dude. It's probably a famous person.
It's
like
not.
In the Middle East.
The company that flagged us is a bot, and it flags anyone that has music on their stuff. I could fight it. I just didn't want to be bothered.
What if I write the music? Like I have music that I've written. What if I wanted to play my music on? Would they flag me?
Well, it's a bot that just goes and does it, so it doesn't actually own the music. But moving along, because
fucking bots.
Yeah, bots.
Dickhead.
Wow, bro.
Dickhead.
Just stop. Like, just stop.
Yo,
he's going forward.
Why? Stop.
Yo, he's a dickhead. Yo, he's a dickhead. Yo,
That's what you get. That's what you fucking get. You fucking retard.
Whoever was operating that didn't understand the cherry picker was fucking extended. Like that looks like it was like somebody trying to rob it. Maybe you know what I mean? Like, cause where's the context of this video? We just jumped into this and this guy's just fucking it up and hitting these power lines. Somebody's trying to steal it and didn't know what they were doing and hit the wrong control and extended the cherry picker. And as they were trying to leave, it hit the power lines, and this is what happens. Because otherwise, there's no reason. If this is somebody who worked for this company, they would have stopped the vehicle and called their superior and been like, hey, I'm in trouble. Help me out. Somebody tried to run away with this vehicle. I'm not a fucking detective. I'm just saying.
Some of the comments say he definitely stole the truck. Is that sound? I wonder if that electrical buzzing sound was added for effect or that's real.
I think it's just in the music.
Get him.
No, but listen, go to the beginning. Oh no, he tore the wires out.
Come get him, bro.
He burnt.
No, maybe not.
Oh no!
Damn.
Look. No humming.
Kid.
No humming.
Dick head. Dick head.
Oh, maybe it is the music. No.
It's the music.
I've heard that before though. I was in my stage when I had a stage, and I heard like that kind of a sound of like that humming,
like interference, like some
sound.
sort of electrical
Yeah, and I
interference.
felt it, and the ground shook, and the building lost power, and I was like, "What the fuck?" It was the transformer underground. Didn't explode, but the wires melted or something. They had to come and dig in
That's
the
wild.
dirt. Con Ed had to dig in.
Yeah.
But this guy's a knucklehead, or definitely stole the car. They say, "Oh, he's burned." The drug addict stole the car.
Stole. Yeah, it's a fucking tweaker stole that shit. Delaware. That's
Another thing. Florida and the fucking animals. What is this guy doing? And I do mean people and animals.
I love this shit.
I woke up the next day and I couldn't see for 2 days after.
The fuck is it's having a beer? It's opening the beers.
Shotgun, motherfucker. It's called. It's got.
Wow.
I woke up the next day and I couldn't see for 2 days after.
It's an alligator shotgun. Nice.
That's fucking awesome. That's awesome. But like, the thing can eat you. They're mostly like not pets. What? They're mostly like the fucking word I'm looking for.
I don't think the smaller alligators want to eat you. They may be territorial. If they are hungry, they may snap at you. If they're well fed, and some of these people, like, they tell you that there's a huge thing where people are like, please do not feed the alligators. Some people have their own private property where they fucking do it anyway. Do you know what I mean? And on this property, they know pretty much which gators are fed, and because they fed them, and they know that they're going to be docile for like months.
Yeah.
After eating, some of these alligators don't eat for years. So
I think that they could eat up to once a year. Some ridiculous thing like that.
as little, yeah, right.
What is this guy doing? Shit is fucked.
Have 24 hours to respond. Oh shit.
What?
Have 24 hours.
What the fuck just happened? How'd he fall? Oh, he's leaning on the. He leaned over the guardrail to pour the water, and the guardrail broke. And if he fell after it broke, holy shit!
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Wow. He got
what do you call
hurt.
this?
You guys have 24.
The kid doesn't even. The kid just looked down. Doesn't like. Oh my god.
That kid got fucked up falling from that high too. Definitely, you definitely got to sprain your ankle from that high, right?
Shit is fucked is right. Sorry, I like this channel. What?
Oh yeah, dude. It's
no. What the fuck is this?
We gotta clip the dick hair. You gotta clip your dog's dick hair. That's what. They need a
What is this?
They're another region fixed up too.
Only got the back of it of the link I was trying to paste. After coordinating a J-Dam strike, Marines turned to psychological warfare, playing Evil Laugh over. That is gangster. You sent me this.
Oh, I did? Mm-hmm. Forget.
That's gangster.
That's fucked up.
That's gangster.
That's a long time ago, right? That just says it's early 2000s Iraq.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That is fucking that's
gangster.
Yeah. That's fucked up, dude.
Gangster.
Wow.
Absolutely gangster.
Do you think there's anybody left to hear that though? Really?
Sorry. Yeah, probably. Like 2.5. Like, the half that's still bleeding.
I'm just gonna say the Florida Panthers dropped the bomb on the fucking Toronto Maple Leafs tonight, just like that J-Dam strike.
Is it over?
Go Cats.
Is the
Go
game
Cats.
over?
Go Cats. Yeah, the game's over. Game's over. Yeah. I'm just gonna be periodically saying this.
You also sent me this too. Let's see what's going on here.
Ooh.
Oh! What is he banging him? What the hell is
He's trying to tow it in reverse. Somebody
Why?
chained it. I don't know, because they thought it would work, and somebody's trying to keep it steering. You see? Do you see that? There's somebody in that car who's trying to keep it straight, bro.
Fucking retarded.
Yeah. These idiots thought this would work. They thought this would work.
What?
The panic that this person in the back vehicle, the tires are already fucking shredded to shit.
He's on rims now.
He's on rims now.
You can't.
Just listen. Just get the tow truck. Get the tow truck. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Ruined. The car's ruined. Ruined.
I am an anti-contact, non-offending pedophile.
What?
Pedophilia is not a choice. I can choose not to harm minors, but I can't choose to stop being attracted to them.
Shoot that guy. Before some dude named Xander or some Vady named Sky comes in, he can't help it. He's just trying to live his life. Yeah, well, I'm trying to end it. I mean, there's a pride flag for these wood chipper Americans. You guys will normalize anything but accountability. If I see one of those freaks flying that flag in public, call me 2020 because it's on site. Their pronouns are going to be was, were. Welcome to the past tense, big guy. I'm not letting you normalize it. And I'm a huge proponent. Here at the GFC, you're not allowed to quit. All right? No self-checkout line of life. You feel me? That guy can, should, and I hope he does. A pride flag. Let that sink in. Pride flag. Goodness. Unrelated, he looks like he plays pickleball. It might be related. Anyways, dude, go forth and stay fucked.
I'm just gonna say that this is like what they're calling like the minor attracted people.
Yes. Remember.
So there are people who show their face. There are people who show their face. Yeah, Nambla. I remember Nambla on South Park.
Yes. And I had to Google to make sure that was real because it didn't. South Park had a disclaimer saying this is real. Because like they must have saw that.
Yes.
What the fuck? Now,
and we all had the internet then too, and we all fucking Googled it right after we saw that shit.
No problem with any of the LGBTQ anything. I don't give a shit. Live your life, I'll live mine. Be happy, I'll be happy. I don't give a shit. This man, I give a shit. You are not going to normalize this. I absolutely agree with him. The other guy.
Oh yeah.
Not this guy.
Well, like
the fuck.
It's like this is what I'm saying. Like there may have been like biblical shit that just didn't make sense, and maybe there was like religious doctrine and stuff like that didn't really like that was very anti or very homophobic, I guess, like within the religion, and then that became, like eventually within the last century normalized into Western culture, right? And then recently in the last 10 years, it got like a bunch of other, groups jumped on, right? To where now you're in some sort of paradox to where it's like, okay, well, the whole movement's just supposed to accept everybody. But then now when it's time to accept everybody, is it time to see and notice that maybe, there's a limit to things? Right?
Yeah, the limit was like right before that guy. It was right there. There was a limit. The limit was there. There was a line. And
we know bestiality and we know necrophilia are there too, right?
Yes.
So my question, right? And it's a valid fucking question.
If someone wants to shoot a dead body, someone wants to fuck a dead body, I don't want to shoot him instantly. I don't want to shoot him. But if you want to...
No, but I don't think they should be fucking, like, in society.
No, of course.
Being normal in society and normalizing fucking a dead body and trying to just pass as normal in society, I say is a fucking far stretch, dude.
It's a problem.
And then bestiality is another one. Even though it's like a joke, it's a joke. Like sheep herders fucking sheep and donkeys.
Wow.
And then we even show that video where those motherfuckers in the DR were fucking donkeys out in the field, and whatnot. But
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Where's the line? Where's the line?
It's been crossed.
All right. Yeah.
These are some of the things that were in those emails from Hillary Clinton and from John Podesta. Quote, I think Obama spent about $65,000 of the taxpayers' money flying in pizza/dogs from Chicago for a private party at the White House not long ago.
Pizza dogs?
Assume we are using the same channels? Just think about $65,000 worth of pizza and hot dogs. Does that fit on a plane? Or are they talking about something else? Because then in another email, and these are verbatim quotes from these emails, quote, "We plan to heat the pool, so a swim is a possibility. Bonnie will be Uber service to transport Ruby, Emerson, and Maeve Luzzatto, 11, 9, and almost 7, because it's really important you know that they're young children. So you'll have some further entertainment, and they will be in that pool for sure." These are some of the things that were in.
So, hear me out.
What is it's code for something? That's code, right?
Yes. So, are you familiar with the Pizzagate thing?
Well,
The
just
conspiracy?
the guy who fucking ran in because he thought that Hillary Clinton had kids in the basement of the pizzeria, and that's how you order it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
You
But
order a
the
kid by
conspiracy-
ordering a pizza.
So you remember the whole thing about the Hillary Clinton emails that were leaked and all this stuff?
Yeah. I mean, I never read them. That's what that's from. Okay.
It's Joe Podesta, I think his name was.
Okay,
And
yeah.
Hillary. It's between them two.
Yeah.
And those are some of the verbatim things that were said in the emails. And this was made into a big conspiracy that got covered up and brought in. And then there was a whole, they basically, it seemed like the conspiracy was onto something, and then it got really fucking retarded, as they tend to do. And that was because I feel like there were outside influences making it go in a different direction. But the emails that were released, those are some of them, and it does sound like what are they actually talking about? What are they actually ordering, and what are they spending $65,000 on to get them in?
Yeah.
Pizza and hot dogs.
That sounds a little much for pizza and hot dogs. Yeah.
Verbatim, this is what these emails said. It's
to get it flown in on a private jet.
It's
seems
really
a little
weird.
ridiculous. Doesn't that seem like a waste of taxpayers' money? Number one, and number two, $65,000. Okay, on a private jet. If you put 2 hot dogs on a private jet and flew it there, it would be $62,005. Do you understand what I'm saying? The 2 hot dogs would be $5, and it would be $65,000 to fly the jet. So the thing is, these hot dogs don't sound like they were paid for, but gifted.
And they had
and you just paid for the jet fuel
11,
to fly it
9,
over.
and 7. It's weird. Just like this is weird.
Yeah, so for all of you who are making predictions that the New Orleans car rammer was Muslim, you probably feel pretty dumb right now, don't you? Clearly, Shamsuddin Jabbar, which is actually a very common American name, was a white nationalist, and radical Islamic ideology has nothing to do with it. But he had an ISIS flag. Nice try. That was a pirate flag because Shamsud was actually a huge fan of Captain Jack Sparrow. Shame on all of you for your Islamophobia. Do better. Yeah, so...
Oh, God.
I love the ironic comedy. Yeah, it's making a comeback nowadays. People are getting sarcasm again.
Yes,
I think sarcasm's making a comeback.
I love it, and we'll move on to a little bit of racism. Let's move on to a little bit of racism. Here's some racism.
A little bit. Uh-oh.
Chinese immigrant gave her Democrat opponent a 30-second lesson on immigration.
Well, I'm a legal immigrant. I came here right away. It took me 6.5 years to become citizen. My brother waited in China for 13 years come here. It is a slap in the face to all the legal immigrants who are still waiting in line all over the world with American sponsors. Some of them have been waiting for over 10 years. What kind of message do we want to send to the world? If you follow the law, we're going to punish you. And if you come here illegally, we'll give you a quick pass to citizenship. I support deport all the illegal aliens who committed crime immediately.
This Chinese immigrant gave her Democrat opponent.
And she's not wrong.
Well, I mean, doesn't that go with anybody? It's like the wait in line theory. It's like, if you see somebody cut in line, all the people who got cut in front of are going to fucking complain, and some of the people who didn't get cut in front of, who had been waiting on a line for a long time, just out of their ideals, will be like, hey, bro, and people may kick you off. You know what I mean? We don't live.
Not to sound like devil's advocate, though, but one could argue if you can afford to apply for proper citizenship and do the whole process, because it's not cheap to do, you should do it that way. And a lot of these other people that are coming here are asylum seekers that don't have that privilege of being able to afford the right way. If that makes sense.
I sort of get it, yeah.
So, like, I think, like, yes, if you come here and you want to be a citizen, it should be easy to get vetted. Not easy to get citizenship, but easy to get vetted.
It should be made simple for you to go through the process of having your clearance to be a citizen. Gotcha. Yeah, I guess that, yeah, dude, but, you know, like, you're not in office, so maybe you should get that idea out there.
So, did you see
Lyris 2028?
No, thank you.
Lyris Murphy 2028. You could be president. I'll be vice president.
So, hey, what,
bro? What is going on, dude? This is real and not a troll. Like, are people really getting down with this? Because I heard he's getting a lot of streams.
I think these guys did this on purpose. They saw what
happened. They did it on purpose.
The Karen in the park.
Yeah.
They saw what happened when she dropped the N-bomb, that she made a bunch of money through GoFundMe or whatever. And now they wanted to do the same thing. I think they started a GoFundMe for themselves, saying now they're getting death threats and they lost their jobs because of this.
Well, that's part. They know that that's what's going to happen. Don't you know that? Like, that's all pre-planned, and they say, "Are we going to pull the trigger on this? All right, are you ready to quit? Do you have enough saved? Because it's going to be like 2 weeks before we see any monetization from this." And he's like, "Yeah, okay, bet, let's go."
I want to be honest, and I don't mean this in any.
I hope you offend somebody, Mike. I really hope you offend somebody.
I don't mean this in any.
Offend somebody, Mike.
No, I mean this maliciously.
Please offend somebody.
If anyone I saw in my life would, if I had to imagine the person that would be doing the Hail Hitler thing, and I had to imagine what they look like, this guy does fit the description as someone I would think would.
And her too a little bit, right?
Yeah, he does look like a sleazy racist bigot, doesn't he?
He's a little grimy.
Like if this was the movie Inglourious Bastards, and he would be.
He'd be in the Hugo Boss?
Yes.
All right. Are they lip syncing the N word, or are they just lip syncing the HH? Bro, the Roman salute with the N-word HH is pretty fucking.
Hold on. I paused the frame. You're right. Look at her. Look at her in this frame. She's devoted to that.
She's looking very Ava Braun right there.
Yeah, man.
What the fuck, bro?
See, this whole thing with Nazis that drives me nuts is that they now, if you don't agree with them, they call you a Nazi, and it's like, bro, you don't know what a fucking Nazi is.
I don't think there's any real Nazis. I don't think there's any real fucking Nazis.
Argentina?
I think all wannabes. No, those are just like the descendants of the ones who fled. I mean, real Nazis, there's no real Nazis, and just wannabes. Just people who are wannabes. And none of them have real power. The thing is, it's just like the media will make you scared about certain people and make you think that they have power. Because like the media makes you think that the far, 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 far left has power. They absolutely do not. You know, which, by the way, I guess, like, did you hear Biden has, like, bad cancer, bladder cancer or some shit?
I feel bad. I mean, look.
They were gonna make him run, bro. What the fuck?
No, they weren't gonna make him run. Him and Jill wanted to run, and they were pissed when they kicked him out. But allegedly, we don't know the truth. But yeah, I mean, he was sick. We knew he was sick. I mean,
or gonna be like close to it. You know what I mean? Who even knows if he had fucking like the treatment? Like he may have been having treatment on the DL, and no one knows. Because now they say it's stage 4. I don't know.
Bringing it back.
Also a perfect record. 35 fights, 35 victories, including 32 wins by knockout, including 22 consecutive KOs, and he has KO'd every opponent he's faced over the last 8 years.
Chael Sonnen.
You know?
He says he could do it. I don't know. I love his confidence. I think he can.
I won a bunch of money on Chael Sonnen not even that long ago, I don't think. Well, it was actually had to be that long ago at this point. But
dude, was it Bellator or before? Was he still UFC
Bellator,
when you did this?
He fought Vanderlei Silva. And I said,
oh, yes.
And I said to Lou, I was like, Chael Sonnen. He's like, you think? I'm like, Chael Sonnen. Trust me. Chael Sonnen. And Chael Sonnen won. Took him down and won.
Yeah, because you got Chael with all the juice fighting in Bellator.
Listen, Chael.
They let him do it. They let him go for it.
The original McGregor. The original.
He's better. Dude, he's better. He's better and still better. He's been better and is still better than McGregor.
But it's different. He's not a better fighter, though, I don't think, to be honest.
Shit talker.
He had a whole different. His opponents were way more elite than the people Conor fought. No offense.
He beat some elites too in light heavyweight. You know what I mean? He was very good in middleweight too. Right? He fought in middleweight.
And if he just didn't tap out to that fucking armbar, he would have beat Anderson Silva too. All those rounds were his. He won every round. He got stuck in an armbar at the last 10 seconds of the round.
I know for me, right, to hear this would be weird because I was such a huge McGregor fan before we get to that weird shit. But Chael Sonnen, in retrospect, for me, is a greater fighter than Conor McGregor, regardless of the double belt. And I'm going to say this, and it's only because of what you just said. You're right. He fought so many more elite fighters,
Monsters.
Lost to a few of them, but came to it like you said, Silva at he was still prime Silva.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that says a lot.
He didn't beat, but he beat prime Silva.
Yes,
all those rounds were his.
Mm-hmm. And McGregor, in retrospect, did a lot of awesome shit, but he didn't do as much.
McGregor
awesome shit.
Changed the sport absolutely. McGregor,
yes, of course,
dethroned Jose Aldo, which was also one of the GOATs
when he was at his height.
Well, he was coming down, but I mean, it still was. By all numbers, he should not have won, but he did his game.
And also, just side mention, he did retire recently, Jose Aldo.
That's also another big fight that I won money on. McGregor and Diaz won.
Oh yeah, the chokeout.
I bet Diaz, and I'm sitting here with Lou's friends. I don't think you were here. Were you in Florida yet?
No, I was there, dude.
You were in the house with me?
I was. Yes.
Because I remember I came out and I fucking was yelling. I told you. I fucking told you.
Yeah, this is in 2016. Dude, this is
fucking
no. 2016, we saw McGregor fight in Madison Square Garden at 205. In 2017, oh no, this is before. You're right. I think he fought Diaz and lost, and then fought in the Garden. I think.
Well, we saw him live at the Garden. I know that. I wasn't.
Yes, that was live.
The Diaz fight, but let's get.
Yeah,
to this
I was still in New York for Diaz too, and then even still after that, I was still in New York for Mayweather, and then I was here. I was here for Cowboy. That's it. That's the only fight I've seen him fight while I was in Florida.
I don't know why that was not a good match, a good pick for either of them.
The shoulder.
It wasn't a good pick for either of them. It was a good start fight for McGregor coming back, but so what is this thing that you sent me?
What is this fucking disgust that I just stumble upon? I don't look for this shit. This shit just falls in my lap, like I say, and then I send it to Mike, and I'm like, "Hey, do you want to see some weird shit?" So this is some weird shit. You could go through this fucking weirdos page too afterwards. So let's. What the fuck is going on in the world, bro?
It's an act, right? It's got to be an act.
This is all performance act. I'm just saying, like,
that doesn't work either. This reminds me of the poop on me guy. Poop on me, shit on me, poop on me, poop on me.
So what you're saying is there's a genre of performance art. But he's voluntarily shaving the middle of his head. Alright, he lives in the desert, and he has somebody helping him film this. I saw somebody else's hand, so somebody's helping him do this.
Interesting.
But
interesting.
Why? But why? Why me? Why does the algorithm pick me for this?
I don't know. It's very weird because
Why?
I get a lot of like thirst traps.
I get those too. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna send you thirst traps. We're not gonna just look at big booty bitches on the podcast, because then it'll just end up getting boring, and then we'll turn into like spank material for people who live in regions that you need a VPN to watch porn with, and who can't afford a VPN.
That's speaking of our next sponsor is ExpressVPN. No, I'm kidding.
NordVPN.
Yo, can you believe Kill Tony is like number 2 on fucking YouTube?
Yep.
That's insane.
Yeah,
And,
they weren't lying when they said that they're the most
sponsors
popular
now.
podcast.
They have so many. Well, they used to lie. They used to be a joke. They used to say the
Yeah.
most watched podcast on the internet. It was a joke.
So those 3 lists are pretty fucking, not surprising on 2 of them. The Apple podcast makes sense because it seems like the demographic who would prefer to use Apple as their streaming, means of streaming. It makes sense that they would be tuning into those specific shows. But on YouTube and Spotify, it makes sense that a lot of these podcasts are what they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Which just want to say this. Did you watch the Rogan with the guy Hawass, the Egyptologist?
I'm in the middle of it
because of the whole ancient, aliens and the early dry ice theory and all that shit, and
yes,
like this guy's like completely anti all of it.
Yes.
He doesn't say even the idea of aliens existing is like, and he's like, and he claims science, and I'm like, okay, but you have several prominent, the scientists that deal in space are saying that the likeliness of there being extraterrestrial life doesn't have to be intelligent, but just life in general elsewhere in the universe is likely, and this guy's like, no. And it just sort of irks the shit out of me when I used to like this guy. I used to really like this guy, and I thought he was a scientist. But I know he had a lot of pushback with a lot of the people who do. It's funny that we're talking about this, and then we got, like, this guy's face.
Yeah. But like
right next to us.
The thing that pissed me off the most about those episodes with that guy is he kept saying, it's in my book. It's in my book, but it's in my book. But if it's not anywhere else except your book, that's a problem.
Talk about it. Yeah. That's a problem. So talk about it. This is an open discussion about your beliefs. This isn't to sell your book. I hate the whole fucking book sales shit, because they do that on the radio, and this isn't radio. This is your platform now that people aren't going to buy your book. They're going to follow you, or they're not going to follow you. And you want people to follow you, and by being so resistant to open ideas and stuff like that, and being so nonchalantly just dismissive, isn't going to fucking help you. And Mr. Hawass, I'm sorry. I used to really like you, and you could go fuck yourself now. I'm sorry.
Whenever I see you take a shit, I have to shit myself because I love you. Yes, I do. Whenever I see you take a shit, I have to shit myself because I love you. Yes, I do.
Yeah, sometimes it's very catchy. Sometimes when I see certain people, it makes me feel like I need to take a shit.
I think for that reel, I'm just going to use my eyes to say it all.
His face is very off-putting.
Is that his face you're staring at?
Yeah, it's like, seriously, I feel very creeped out, bro.
Holy shit.
He said what?
Please keep Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s name out of your mouths. He was a proud and unapologetic black man fighting for equality for black Americans and all marginalized people.
I appreciate my Democrat colleague for exemplifying exactly the kind of oppression of freedoms that we're referencing. How about we'll quote whoever we want to quote? How about that's my First Amendment right? How dare a white Republican quote Martin Luther King? We actually had a congressman say that just now. Thank you, good lady, for once again exemplifying the type of oppression that we stand against. We will quote who we please, and we will continue to speak freely. I'm a veteran. That's the country that I serve. That's the Constitution I swore an allegiance to, and that oath has no expiration date. I will fight for it with my last life's blood, for my right to speak freely and yours.
Yeah, I don't like the whole keep somebody's name out of your mouth shit either. If we're going to talk, everybody's allowed to be talked about.
Yes, or like, hold on. Like, yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, it's fucking.
You could fight against context of how somebody that you know, like don't want to be spoken about is spoken about. Like you could fight against that with your freedom of speech. Like that's the whole idea, right? Like all these motherfuckers who want to try to talk shit, but they just don't. They don't fucking comment. A lot of this behind the scenes shit is definitely, you know, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
What's your message to straight white conservative men?
Listen to minorities, listen to women, listen to people who are trying to educate you. Don't live in ignorance just because it's easy.
What is a woman?
That sounds like
What's your
You don't want to answer because you don't want to offend anybody. I know.
She may have answered that they just stopped the video there. I would have liked to hear an answer. I mean, it said we didn't get an answer, but I think, you know, what if like everybody could just have their opinion on it, and not have to march? Like, wouldn't we be more of a productive society?
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
What are you marching for? Women's rights. Which ones don't you have that I have? The right to an abortion. I have the right to an abortion.
Do I have one?
No.
Mentioned being Jewish in a video, and somebody in the comments wrote 6MWE. I looked it up, and apparently that stands for 6 million wasn't enough.
Oh.
And I was just filled with such overwhelming relief that racists are finally admitting the Holocaust actually happened.
He's nice.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was.
Yeah. Listen. You know what? Like, this is all I gotta say. If you're in the comments, ignore all the good comments. Just don't pay attention to any of the good ones. Just ignore those. Don't heart them. Don't like them. Just move past the nice ones, the compliments, the good tidings, and you just go to the bad ones, and you read the bad ones only, and then you like the bad ones, so that only the algorithm gives you is bad comments. Bad comments.
The Trump administration has asked for budget cuts to the CIA. In response, the CIA is trying to butter up Trump with an all-expense-paid convertible tour of downtown Dallas. The Trump.
Whoa.
That went to places you did not expect.
That was a little hot topic. I don't know. Do you know what's fucking crazy? Speaking about bad comments, right? I think somebody blocked me, or they got fucking kicked off of Instagram. We played them on the pod before. We had like this, I think they're called Red Letter Ministries or something like that, RLM TV, and they were on Instagram, and I don't know, look them up, see if you can find them.
What's it
called? RLM-TV, or not dash, like underscore TV or something like that. RLM TV. Either they got taken off of Instagram or they blocked me because of a comment I made. We played them on the podcast
videos?
before.
What is it?
Did you put it up? Did you find it?
Hold on.
We played them on the podcast. They're like a religious sort of page, and we played them on the pod. Oh, yo, wait, are you?
It's their YouTube. Hold on.
Yeah, on YouTube. Were you able to find it on Instagram? Because I found them on YouTube.
They have a link to their Instagram. They don't have a link to their Instagram.
They got taken off of Instagram.
Let me see if I can find it now. Hold on.
Because I think the Instagram comments like weren't plentiful, and they were all fucking pretty bad. And if you watch some of their videos, we've had them on before, and we sort of probably made fun of them. Sorry, not sorry.
No, bro,
and
you got blocked.
I got blocked. I
found them in 2 seconds.
Oh my god, I feel so good. Please follow him, please, on Nothing Network. Oh my god, I gotta look for them. I gotta look for them on the Dumbfounded Dipshits.
What'd you say?
I said, what in the Jim Jones is this shit? That's what I said.
Wow.
I said, what in the Jim Jones is this shit? Because none of it made sense. Play it, dude. All right, just for that, for fucking blocking me, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make fun of you on fucking the podcast now.
So this is what he saw, that those who had been joking with the chief apostles' teachings, they should get prepared now. In the vision, the whole earth was flooded, and those who were running could not make it. Floods, dangerous diseases, famine,
They're just
crime.
reading the fucking Bible, though.
Repentance.
Not always. No, go to another video, and then they start talking.
There was floods and deaths.
They have like sermons, and they start talking
what's
gibberish.
Interesting is cloud by day, fire by night, and we see that when they're going in the Exodus. That's the Shekinah. So the benefits of the Shekinah: cloud by day, fire by night. But when we see right after Laban gives.
What in the Jim Jones, bro, is this shit?
That's why that stuff is important, because it's the honoring of the ancients.
Are they brother and sister?
That's why that.
Or was that him in a wig?
I don't know. It's interesting is cloud by day.
That looks like it could be him in a wig and makeup. Look at the face.
That's why that stuff.
So
no, that's the meme.
Is important.
That's the meme, and he looks like Maynard.
It's the honoring of those.
Oh, I'm talking about this.
So
face.
it's interesting.
That's why that stuff is important,
like they
because it's the honoring of the ancients. It's the honoring of those that were.
All I know is that this guy used to be a drug addict, and he has an anchor tattoo on his face.
He looks like one of the singers and rappers in Die Antwerp.
Can I just say that? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is the vibes I get from him. It just sounds like fucking gibberish, fucking insanity. I don't know if these people are hallucinating on fucking psychedelics. It seems like they are. And my problem is, what's with the fucking sunglasses? Show your goddamn eyes.
Maybe
what in the Jim Jones? Do people show up? Do people show up to your fucking sermons? This is fucking crazy. Maybe I am the devil.
Right.
Can I be the devil for them? I'd love to be their enemy.
No.
Can I be their enemy?
They're the
This is fucking crazy.
And they have reptilian eyes. That's why they wear sunglasses.
I'm fucking telling you.
Reptilian eyes.
They are the false prophet. This is what you call false prophet.
Is always tagged in their shit.
Yeah, because the guy is a former drug addict. Oh, wow, look at his eyes. Look at his waxy heroin face. Look at the waxy heroin face. So, doesn't he look like waxy opioid? Doesn't he? He looks like an Oxycontin pill.
You don't like these people.
I fucking don't like these people. So, he looks like a fucking Oxycontin pill.
It might be born agains, and a lot of fucking ex-drug addicts are born agains and become super, super religious. Same thing with serial killers. A lot of ex-serial killers become super, super religious.
So if we're not even walking in the
like, she's creepy. Like, she's fucking creepy.
She's like Jim Jones and Ivanka Trump had a kid.
Wow. Dude, that's dead on.
Pretty fucking accurate, right?
On the last one, I want to make this a short. And
it's fucking
images next to her. Holy shit.
It's Jim Jones and Ivanka Trump had a kid, and the other one looks like a fucking waxy fucking Oxycontin pill that was rolled around in cocaine with the fucking rhinestone.
I love the little childhood prophecies.
All right, we're gonna get away from these fucking guys.
Thank you for showing me that I was blocked, Mike. I really appreciate that. I feel accomplished today. You know, I know the Mets lost, but the Panthers won, and these people blocked me on Instagram. I've never been blocked on Instagram, and I'm blocked on Instagram now, and I feel like I've made a milestone, and we got to make fun of them twice on the podcast. I feel like we're winning right now.
Oh, I can't even tell you the name of the person that blocked our page. Hold on, can I? It was like anti-capitalism, trans, liberal, Wilfkin, and it just had this whole huge title, right? And then they want to argue with me, and I'm like, I can't argue with you. You're a bot and clearly not real.
You're
He's
not
like,
real.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? And then they blocked me, and I'm like, see, you were literally not fucking real. I wasn't gonna engage. What do we got here?
My name is Jem.
My name's Navina.
We're lesbians, even though we have opposing parts.
So then you're just straight. You're just motherfucker. Stop adding extra steps.
My name is Jem.
My name's
Real
Navina.
We're lesbians, even though we have opposing parts.
Yeah. They're not lesbians. You're just fucking straight. I don't.
Yeah, I'm confused. I think we're all just supposed to be confused. I think this is all supposed to be thrown at us, in the media. Like, people are going to exist the way that they exist, and most people aren't going to, just try to, make their lifestyle such a part of your life. People will usually keep to themselves, but I feel like the media throws it at us as to just it's pocket sand.
Yes.
It's made to confuse you.
Before I play this video,
to give a shit about something that you don't have to give a shit about.
So before I play this video, this leads into the thing I was talking about, how I also make the comments about, we also make fun of or have stereotypes towards white people too. We make fun of everybody. We are an equal opportunity.
The white stereotypes are my favorite. Like this fucking hot dog fountain. Very white. This is very white, by the
That's
way.
how I set up my hot dog fountain for a summer party. First, I boil a batch of hot dogs. I always make sure there's plenty for everyone. Then I pour the hot dog water into the fountain and stack the cooked hot dogs on the different tiers. My guests can sip on the savory hot dog water or grab a dog straight from the fountain, whatever they're into. It's always an unforgettable experience for everyone and so fun. Here's how I set up my hot dog.
Okay. So
I had a hot dog a couple of days ago. I'm just gonna say, I had one.
I like hot dogs. I don't like hot dogs in Jell-O. I don't like hot dogs in a casserole. I don't like hot dogs in a fountain. I like them grilled or deep fried.
What about cut up in SpaghettiOs?
Okay. I might look white to you, Ryan, but I am not that white. I prefer rice and beans.
Did I just show my whiteness? I heard that. Did you see that gingers are black people now? Did you hear that?
No.
I don't believe the hype. I think that's all bullshit. I think it's really a troll. But the thing is, I'm seeing a bunch of videos about. I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? Who said this first? Like, it doesn't make sense to me to, cause this kind of hysteria. Because you're gonna get a ginger overstepping lines, and it's not gonna be fucking funny.
Yeah.
For said ginger.
Yeah. And but you can still drop a hard R for a ginger.
Oh, I can drop a hard R for a ginger. I prefer you use the soft A, and I prefer anybody else. The darker the shader you get, the less likely I would be comfortable with you using the word ginger. Actually, and how about that?
Happening now, the Trump administration just sent 20 armed ICE agents to surround the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, who's a Democrat. And they took the mayor and started dragging him into the ICE detention facility.
When was this?
Then they arrested him. Happening now.
One of the comments is,
that didn't happen.
As a New Jersey resident, this is good for Newark.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, he got arrested.
What? For what?
Yeah.
Why is this guy so hysterical?
Newark.
Mayors get arrested too. Mayors have gotten arrested before. Mayors have gotten arrested for smoking crack in America and in Canada.
He was arrested for trespassing.
Okay, so big deal. It's a misdemeanor. He's gonna be fucking let go the next day with a fine, and
it's the Gestapo. It's a Gestapo. Gestapo. I almost fucking spit as I said that. I mean, I did spit when I said that. All right.
Go Cats. Go Cats. Yeah, but people will fucking over-exaggerate.
You've messed with the wrong retard. I'm out here fighting the great retard war. Keep saying I can't say retard and see what happens, retard. You've messed with...
She loves the word. I mean, I hear her say that word a lot.
Yeah.
Imagine that's her idea of dirty talk, is just calling you a retard.
I call her a retard.
Going undercover as a woman to find out what they go through every day. I discovered that women are called faggot a lot. I'm going...
Very quick. That was a quick one. I thought we were going to actually get to see something like a montage of like interactions, but that was quick.
I'm sorry. That's funny. That's why.
Straight to punchline. Because it's quick humor.
Funny.
It's timing. It's timing, dude. Timing. I'm telling timing is everything. And the punchline. The punchline is gold because it's simple. Very simple.
We used to use that word a lot. Not towards gay people though. Towards our friends when they were being like a sissy or something or a bitch.
Yeah.
We kind of meant the same thing as bitch. Kind of. When we used it, you know? Like,
yeah, it just meant or wuss.
Yeah, I never went up to like a group of gay people and like, hey, and run away. That's wrong. And you should get your shit kicked out of you if you do that. But like,
you could get your shit kicked out of you from a bunch of gay dudes.
Yes.
They'll still whoop your ass.
Yes. But like if you're hiking and my friend's like, oh, my feet hurt. You're like, no, let's go.
Man's best friend, huh?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. What the You know,
homeboy brought the bears out, bro.
You know, where is it? When I see that, I think of this, and it's what's absolutely necessary. Oh, that's the same fucking video, dummy. So when you see that, this is absolutely necessary.
Oof.
Absolutely right. Imagine this against the Bears. Who's winning? Who's winning?
You.
Who's winning?
With a 50 cal with a drum? That's expensive, dude. This is very expensive.
You're just a stupid again.
I just see the dollar signs. $$signs.
$$signs. $$signs. $3 a bullet.
More. Probably more. God damn.
I like
all right, everybody.
That.
I definitely want to fuck with that gun, like at a range. Like they got that shit in Vegas for sure, where you could rent a 50 cal. I didn't get to shoot a 50 cal. I got the machine gun.
Uzi, not the Uzi, the Gatling gun or chain gun or whatever.
Yeah, and I got to shoot a light machine gun too, which is pretty fun.
Yo, the Uzi is cool.
That's a good one too. It jumps around a lot. It's scary. Go Cats. Sundays at 9:30, dipshits. We'll see y'all next week. Go Cats, go! Eastern Conference, 3 years in a fucking row, motherfucker. That's right. South Florida. Peace out, bitches. See you later, Mike.
Peace, bro.